Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hope and Healing, where we are restoring hearts we are restoring hope one heart at a time. When will I get it right? If you've been riding with me for a while, you know I always mix those two things up. So I'm sorry, but we are restoring hope one heart at a time, y'all. Up in Hope and Healing with Christina. And I am so excited to be here tonight. I got my rollator in the picture. I don't know what's going on, but it's all good. You know what? It's all good. We are excited tonight. It's going to be a good night. Yes, y'all, I am here with the author of Silent Battles. Yes, Silent Battles. Can y'all see that? Good. Silent Battles. It's a funny, I have to tell you guys how I met this young lady, like how God just does things. He just does things and nothing is coincident. I don't believe in coincidence. I just believe that it's always a God setup. He always sets things up. So I'm scrolling through Facebook like I always do. And this post pops up. I should have took it, but a post pops up and it's Daneshia, who is my guest, and she says talks about her book Silent Battles and her struggle with MS. And I was just like, wow, okay. So you know what? She might be great on my show. Let me take this down and see what happens. I usually go in and I usually go into somebody's inbox, but this time I was like, we're just gonna make this bold move and just say it right in her comments. And I was just like, hey, would love to have you on my show. And she's like, yes. And I'm like, okay. And so we do this whole thing. We go back and forth with one another. I find out she is from New Jersey, y'all. And I was like, what? New Jersey. So I'm thinking she's going to say somewhere like up north, somewhere crazy. Like, oh no, I live in South Jersey, like an hour or two away from me. This young woman lives like minutes away, like in the next town over, New Brunswick, New Jersey. I live in North Brunswick, New Jersey. So I am just like, okay, God, what's up? What are you doing here? We had a wonderful conversation on Saturday and I am just excited. But before we begin, who is here? We have Teddy Hatwood. Hello, Teddy Hatwood. Good evening to you, sir. Good evening to you. Who else do we have here? Tanya, my good friend Tanya. Thank you for being on Hope and Healing with Christina. We have Yvonne here. And we have Restoring Health, who is my husband. My hubby is on here right now. I know there are many more. You just don't want to show up, but that's okay. You don't want to say hi. It's all good. Hello to you too, who's hiding in the background, chilling, maybe washing dishes or something like that. And thank God for you. Thank God for being there. Oh, my daughter just came on, the one who called me like 2 seconds before my show started. Thank you, Faith. Hello. Hi, Marla. How are you? How are you today? Good. I'm so grateful for everybody on here today. I have a wonderful guest, and you know, we are talking about silent battles. I don't know if you guys remember, I did a show not that long ago, maybe a year ago, and it was talking about like why we don't want to talk about our diagnosis, like what's going on, why we don't say anything, why we won't tell anyone. And there are so many different reasons. There's so many different people saying maybe because it's you're ashamed, maybe because it's, you know, you don't feel like people will understand you. You don't want to be misunderstood. You don't want pity, right? And so she discusses all these things in her book. And I just wanted to bring her up because I think she would just be such an awesome guest for us today. And so before we do that, I want to, you know, I like my my icebreakers, right, y'all? You know, I like my icebreakers. So what is something bringing you hope right now? I need y'all to drop that in the comments. What is something that is bringing you hope right now? What is bringing you hope right now? I'm hopeful. Just the fact that I woke up this morning. I know that's probably like the cliche answer, but it's true. I woke up this morning. I'm hoping. I have hope in me that there's going to one day. Either there's going to be, God is going to heal this right then and then. I'm going to hop up out the bed and walk one day, or there's going to be a cure for those who may not be believers, right? We still want everybody healed from MS. We still want people healed from lupus. We still want people healed from all these autoimmune diseases that the enemy has tried to place on us. And we are just grateful to the Lord for sparing our lives one more day and just giving us hope that we are here and we're healthy regardless of what's going on in our everyday lives, and we're not stressed out and our kids are okay and all of that good stuff. So what is giving you hope for today? Or what are you grateful for? Let me know in the comments what you are grateful for. Who said, Tanya said restoration. You are hopeful. That gives you hope. Restoration. It does give me hope. I know that's right. Amen. Faith says, I have hope that I will get my new place and start new again. You will, Faith. I believe that. Truly, truly, truly believe that you are going to be okay, my dear. You're going to be okay. I believe that in Jesus' name. Who else? Who else has an answer for me? Who else? What are you hoping for today? What is bringing you hope right now? Let me see those answers up there. Also, what are you grateful for? What are you just grateful for? Are you grateful for something particular today? Is there something on your mind that you're grateful for? She says family. You are grateful for family, or that gives you hope. Amen. Amen. Marla says opened eyes, hope that I will literally run around with my grands. Come on, those grands need us to run around with them. I think even if I was walking right without anything, I wouldn't be wanting to run around with no kid. Listen, at 52, I ain't running. I'll play. We'll play some board games like back in the day. Amen. All right. Seeing that beautiful face on the screen every Tuesday. Thank you. That's from my husband. Thank you. Seeing that beautiful face. He always says you look good on TV. All right. Watching my 7.5-year-old grow up shows his own personality and being kind to others. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome when you know that you brought a kind, decent human into the world? That's wonderful. I am super happy for you on that note. On that note, we are going to bring up our guest, and our guest is Miss Daneshia Drakeford. Here she is. Hey.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. One more here. She said, grateful to be alive and with you all. Thank you, Shan FB, Facebook. Thank you. Now everybody's popping up, right? Grateful for all my circle of friends. And while we're talking, Daneshia, what brings you hope? What are you grateful for today?
I am grateful and hopeful. Well, first and foremost, I'm grateful that God actually trusted me and gave me the strength and the wisdom and the courage to actually have my son. The doctors told me they didn't recommend it, but God had another plan for me. And I am 100% grateful. Like, I call my child the miracle baby. I had to come off my medicine. Husband at the time, he had his struggles. So I'm just grateful that that was him in the comment section, I think. But a 7.5-year-old, look, going on 77, but happy, healthy, very witty, and his personality. I mean, he meet no strangers. So I'm just grateful and hopeful, and just hope and pray that I'm able to continue to be mobile, as he grow up, and just be the best mom or the best version of myself that I can be.
I believe that. And I believe that he can allow us to do those things because that's the desires of our heart, right? He'll give us the desires of our heart. And I believe that he can do that for you, especially because that's what you want, right? I want that too. I was actually diagnosed when my kids were at that age, and so I didn't get to do all that running around and helping them ride their bikes and all that good stuff. But you know what? Still, I was still mom, and they're still grateful to have that mom. That's good. Type that by himself. Oh, I guess your son typed something. And my mom says, your son says, you got this, mom. All right. What's your son's name?
Theodore.
Shout out to Theodore. Is he named after his dad, I guess, Teddy, right?
Yes, he's a Trey. So, another one of my friends and a couple family members, their son's name is Trey. So it's like, let's do something different. So now his nickname is T3. Everybody's like, okay, now he sounds like a computer. Now he sounds like the Terminator. But yeah, his nickname is T3.
I like that. All right, T3. Shout out to you, T. All right. So let's start off by introducing yourself and telling us where you're from and what you do and all of that good stuff.
Okay, so my name is Daneshia Drakeford-Hatwood. I reside in Central Jersey and New Brunswick, literally give or take 5 or 10 minutes, tops 15 away from you. I currently work part-time at the Home Depot. I've been pursuing modeling and acting probably a good 20 something years now. I'm an author, I'm an MS advocate, and now I'm a filmmaker.
All right, with the filmmaking, I love that. My daughter is pursuing filmmaking, so that's awesome. That is awesome. My youngest daughter, not the one that was in the comments calling before. I assume this is your son too, saying I love you. Awesome. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. So we got to know you. And I love the fact that we just found out all this kind of stuff. Like we moved, like we're just so close in proximity to one another. And I got excited about that because, you know, you always want to see if there's somebody closer by that you can maybe like say, hey, you know what, you want to get some coffee one day, or you want some tea, or I know you don't drink coffee, but she told me, we learned, but we will go and we will sit and we'll do something.
Yeah, that part. Even or look, even if we just having an MS day and we just need that support, you know, MS system, you know.
Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. Here is Marla. I told you one of our friends has works at Home Depot too, and that's Marla. So she just shout out Home Depot.
Yeah, Home Depot is the best. Look, which one?
Where do you live on? She lives in my whole mind just went right there. Okay, whatever. She works at Home Depot. That's what we know.
Okay.
Oh man, she Virginia. She lives in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. And so we wrote this book, this awesome book, Silent Battles. I like that. I like the name of that. And so let's just get started with those questions right here. Silent Battles. What about that name? What made you name it Silent Battles? What is that?
Well, the reason it's called Silent Battles because all the battles and everything that I was up against or was facing at that current time, I did it in silence. I thought that, you know, being silent was a sign of strength until I found out other words. And, you know, I just wanted something that will be relatable for everyone because I didn't want everybody to be like, oh, well, blah, blah. No, we all have silent battles. You know, I just wanted to be E, you know, rated E for everyone. We all have silent battles. I'm just the one that's telling mine at this present time, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. God told me to do it. And I'm a strong believer. And, you know, I feel and I know, you know, just from life experiences, anything he put you to, or, you know, when he put you to it, he put you through it. And, you know, he told me, daughter, this is something that I want you to do. And I mean, I never thought in a million years, I thought I would hit the jackpot before I became an author. But, you know, if I had to do it again, I would. It was one of the best decisions I did. And I'm grateful for it. I'm happy that that's another thing that he trusted me with.
Awesome. That is wonderful. Let's go back to your journey here. We're talking about being diagnosed with MS. So what triggered, I always ask my guests this, whenever there's a illness or a diagnosis, I'm always like, what triggered you to say something's not right? Let me get over here to this hospital and see what's going on here, or the doctor, or however you found out. So what was that first symptom for you?
Okay, well, I didn't even have look, I didn't even have that luxury of seeing something not right. I literally was on my way at work. I was on a highway and I just started seeing double of everything. Give or take, I was like 5 minutes away into the Home Depot parking lot, and I was on a highway and it was pouring raining outside. I mean, the worst weather ever. And I'm like, wait a minute, you know, started rubbing my eyes. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And I'm like, should I pull over? What's going on? Like, just start seeing double of everything, you know, the streets, the cars in front of me, the street light, everything, just double everything. I'm like, Lord, please, I don't know what's going on. Should I pull over? What should I do? So I just, I don't know if it was my right hand or my left hand over my eye. And that's how the grace of God, he literally took the wheel, and that's how I made it into my Home Depot parking lot. And I'm stagging out my car, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I know something not right. And I was like, and I know I can't work, nor can I drive. So I went inside staggering, because I could barely see. So like I said, I had one of my hands over one of my eyes. I don't know which one it was, give or take. And my immediate supervisor was standing like by the door, and she was like, Daneshia, what's going on with you? And I was like, I would tell you if I knew. And I said, all I know is I feel nauseous. I was like, I just feel, I was like, I don't know how I feel right now. I was like, I'm seeing double. I was like, the grace of God, I was like, I made it into the parking lot. And I was like, but I'm gonna have to call someone. I can't work. I'm gonna have to call someone to come pick me up. And she was like, sit down, gave me water. And, asked me, had this ever happened to me before? Do I feel faint? And I was like, no, I was like, I can't explain how I feel. But I was like, just the weirdest, like, sensation, warming sensations. I mean, if someone was to pay me $1 billion, I can't explain like how I felt. I just knew just the whole double and me trying to get to work. Like, I just knew that something was 100% off. So, I called my mom. She didn't, well, I called my father was actually alive at that present time. So I called their house phone. Neither one of them picked up. I called my boyfriend at the present time. He didn't pick up. So then I called one of my best friends, Robin, and she picked up. Same thing. I was like, hey, I need you to come pick me up from work. I don't know what happened. I'm seeing double everything. I feel off. I feel a little nauseous. I don't know how I feel right now. I just know that I need either go to the hospital or the doctors. Can you come pick me up? And, she still asked me a million and one questions. And I told her the same thing that I told my boss. If I knew what is wrong with me right now, I would tell you, but I don't know. Can you please come and pick me up? So give or take, she was there like in 15, 20 minutes. Took me to, because my boyfriend at that present time was actually in medical school. So I said, well, the best place to take me, I guess, would be to his house. My mother don't drive. My father was a little ill. So I was like, the best place to be is to take me there. Because I know if anything, he might know since, he's studying medicine and he can drive me to wherever I have to go at the present time. Called the doctors. They was about to close for the day. They said, hey, you know what? We'll make you an emergency appointment. Can you get here tomorrow morning? I said, sure. So in short, went to the doctors. He told me that I'm going to have to go to the hospital, get blood work of everything, and, and come back in the next couple of weeks or so. Did everything, got tested for lupus, got tested for everything under the sun. Even went to a neurologist somewhere, I think in Edison, and he had told me, I seen this before. He was like, this looks like MS. He just is like, MS is a disease sometimes that hides. He said, I'm going to have you go and get some CAT scans or even potential some MRIs. So I did all of that and everything came back negative. So I just chalked it up like it was malnutrition. I was in college at that present time. I wasn't taking good care of myself. I didn't know what it was, honestly. Right. I just thought it was just me not taking care of myself. And, he's like, I can actually start you on some medicine now. And like I said, I'm a believer. And I was like, I'm not about to take some medicine. And I was like, or I'm not about to try to, I guess, cure something that's not there. And then said, well, MS, it hides. And normally the first thing it attacks is your eyes. And I was like, I'm a believer. My mother said the same thing. She was like, no, daughter, you're not taking no medicine. We're going to pray about it and you're going to be okay. So I left, prayed about it, perfectly fine. Maybe a couple years later, instead of me having a double vision, I woke up with the left side of my body numb, like for 3.5 weeks. And went through the same thing again. Got tested for lupus, HIV. I mean, everything you could think of under the sun, MRI of my brain, spine, everything. Still, everything came back negative. So, we went on the prayer line. My mother just was like, daughter, you're not taking care of yourself. I was working, going to school, pursuing modeling at the time. I just was doing everything. I literally had 10 jobs, literally. So I just thought, once again, I'm not taking care of myself. I'm going to really slow down and do what I have to do. Another couple of years went by. I woke up the third time, not with double, but blurred. So then I had to go through the whole, getting tested for everything again. Finally, my neurologist at that current time was like, Miss Drakeford, you have MS. And I was devastated. I was like, that was like, telling me, that was like him handing me a death sentence.
Mhm.
And, and ever since then, I mean, the grace of God, 20 some years later, I'm here.
Praise God. Praise God. You are still here and you're still mobile and you can still do things. But that time, those years prior to actually getting a diagnosis must have been kind of like, harebrained for you. Like, wait, what's going on? It's coming back. It's going away. It's coming back. It's going away. But to finally get a diagnosis, did that bring you some relief at all besides being very scared? But did that bring you some like, okay, now we have a name to it. Now what?
It did give me a little peace, but honestly, I think that frightened me a little more because at that present time I was active, like working full time, going to school full time. I mean, I just had just a busy lifestyle, modeling full time, dating full time. So I'm just like, why me? Like I never really been sick, like the flu, never really had the flu, like I barely get sick. And
Mhm.
I'm like, this can't be happening. Like, I'm too young for this. And then I thought it was more so of an elderly person disease.
Okay.
I heard about it.
Mhm.
I heard like people like Montel Williams and people like that like had it. And I was like, no, this can't be happening to me. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I take care of myself. Like, I'm not out there partying. Like, no,
Mhm.
like this can't be happening. And I was in denial, like I was more so scared because I didn't know. And then when I started reading up on it, it was, just the unknown, just the fear, I didn't want people to start labeling me. The first thing I thought about me being handicapped in a wheelchair or getting up one day not being able to walk, I was like, and then when I tell people I had it, they either cried, or half of them didn't even know what it is, even to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
It's not something that you hear about all the time. So yes, I was relieved that I got it diagnosed, but I don't know which one, like I still was still frightened,
Okay.
because it was not saying I would have preferred cancer or lupus or something that was more popular. But, I still, yes, I was grateful that I finally, it came, it made sense,
Yeah.
all the different symptoms I was getting, but I still was devastated and scared and just felt alone. And,
Mm.
just pretty much saying, and I really don't like to question God, but I'm like, why me? And why now?
Wow.
But I changed it as the years, 20 some years later. I'm like, you know what? Why not me?
Mhm.
God trusted me with this. And, I'm just going to try to spread the word or, just as much as I can, just bring awareness or just, shine a light on MS and
Okay.
educate and inform, whoever don't know what MS
Who
means.
don't know what it is so that they are aware of what it is so that they don't look at people and say, you don't look sick.
Oh, yes.
I know you got that a lot. Because
Oh
in the
my
beginning,
gosh.
I got that
Oh,
in the beginning so much because
oh, I mean, and I still get it. I still
yeah.
get it.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah, I still get it. And I'm like, I know I don't look it, but unfortunately I wake up sick every day,
Mm.
and they like, oh, and I'm like, no, I'm like, I'm okay. But
Hmm.
trust me, yeah, I know we don't look it. And then I tell them never judge a book by their cover,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Because you just never know, and just be kind. That just goes down to just be kind to everyone because you
Mhm.
never know what a person is going through. And, just like how I had MS is not my only battle, but how no one knew half of the battles that's in my book. They didn't even know I was going through that. So you never know what a person, you don't even know once you leaving a person, are they even going home to a house or a home?
Yeah.
So you just,
Yeah.
just be kind to everyone because you just never know. And sometimes the strongest people are the ones that's actually going through the most.
You never know. You ain't lying. You are not lying about that one. Okay, so about silent battles. We already talked about why you wanted to name it that and what the title meant to you. So why do you believe that there are so many people who fight their battles silently? Why do so many people, especially people in our situation, not want to talk about? I know a lot of people who were like, I don't tell anybody. Yeah, I have MS too. I just don't tell anyone. Or I have this. I just don't want to tell anybody. Please don't tell anyone. Why do you believe that? People do that.
Well, I thought, honestly, if you want me to be honest, I
Hmm.
thought it just was me. And some of my friends, even family members, like, Denise, you're not contagious. Like, tell people. And like I said, I thought it just was me until I started going to like the MS walks, the MS meetups, or even, like they actually, before the pandemic hit, they actually used to have where they had seminars. You'll meet up like at different, function, like hotels or restaurants or what have you. And and I thought it just was me because me, I'm a chatty Cathy, but I'm also very private. And it's so weird. It is like, then you should choose one. You're either a chatty Cathy or you. So it's like, yeah, I do love to talk, but I'm also very private at the same time. And I thought it just was me. And to so many other MS, warriors out there, they said, once again, they don't want to be labeled. They don't want people to, look down on them. They don't want people to think that they can't do stuff or, or that they or is going to end up in a wheelchair. Like they didn't want the pity. And I think even, all the other different illnesses or diseases out there, I feel is a lot of them feel the same way. But with MS, is 95% of us, we don't look sick. So I guess me personally, I just didn't, since I wear a lot of hats and I still do, I don't want people to tell me that I can't do something. Because even my mom, she don't do it anymore. But she's always telling me, hey, you're doing too much. Or do you really think you should be doing this? So I just didn't want the shoulda, coulda, woulda, or Daneshia, you pushing yourself, or, maybe you should try to do something else. And I tell everybody, even now, the doctors told me that they didn't recommend me to have a child, but I did. And I had one of the most.
Tell us about that part right there, about them saying no and you just being like, we gonna have one. Well, I'm gonna have a baby.
So I'm not going to lie. I definitely have to give my son father a lot of credit for that. I mean, my mother and like I've always been strong. Like even some of my aunts say this is like, just your willingness and your willpower. Like you too stubborn. You're too stubborn to get sick, or you too stubborn to. So I think a lot of that, like I always like been my personality. I can show you better than I can tell you. And like I said, I'm a strong believer, and God had told me, that I can do this, even though the doctors told me they didn't recommend it age wise. And then my husband, he had, his own medical issues too. So they said, not to be in your business, but, if you make good money and he make good money, won't you guys either A, consider adoption, or two, a surrogate? And, my husband being one of my biggest cheerleaders at that present time, he said, you living so well. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm living well, but this is me living well without, having a child and everything else. And even my gynecologist had told me that her sister, perfectly fine, living with MS. I don't know which one she had, because it's several different ones. But she said, Daneshia, not to scare you, but after she had her child, it was pretty much good night, Irene. She woke up times and couldn't walk anymore. And a lot of this didn't happen to after she had her daughter. So that I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say she told me that to scare me. But she just was making me aware. Even my neurologist said that some of the most MS patients have the most beautiful pregnancies you'll ever see. Yeah. However, the aftermath, and then, if we have a flare up or something happen in the pregnancy, they can't give us medicine. They they just keep just reassuring that I knew that, Daneshia, yes, I think you can do this. We really don't recommend it age wise, and then your husband not being the healthiest. But you're doing so well. Your personality. You're so positive. We know you can do this. We don't recommend it, but we know you're going to be perfectly fine. However, if something happened to you throughout your pregnancy, it's nothing we can do for you.
Wow.
Because they can't. You can't give me medicine. So they said that's the only thing that scared them, since I was living so well during the pregnancy. If something was to happen, they wouldn't be able to give me no medicine. It's like, or Daneshia, he's like, most MS patients have the most beautiful pregnancies. He's like, but I'm scared of after you have your beautiful pregnancy, what's next? So I told them, I was like, I get it. And I might be a fool for still trying to do this. And I was like, but God told me I got this and I'm going to do it. And I did. And when I tell you, one of the most beautiful pregnancies you'll ever see. Morning sickness, no morning sickness, no swelling, no nothing. I mean, I didn't start showing till I was almost 7 months, and it was all in my stomach. And yeah, I'm like, oh my goodness, if I can feel like this again, I would get pregnant right away. I'm like, is this what normal people feel like? I had energy. I mean, beautiful pregnancy. I couldn't ask for a more beautiful pregnancy. I mean, I got sick towards the end, but yeah, beautiful pregnancy.
Right. Someone here said, I was told that my son is 24 years old now. She was told too not to get pregnant while having MS, and her son is now 24 years old. This one is here. She's saying you sound like Christina, because people are always telling me you do too much, and I'm always like, all right, you know.
Yeah, like, all right, yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah. What do we have here? She said, you have the biggest support doctors know nothing about but God. Amen. I know that's right. But God. And now you have a beautiful 7.5-year-old son who seems like he supports you as well. Like he said, Mom, you got this. I'm like, oh, I love that. It's so sweet. It's so very sweet. And you have a lot of supporters and people who supported you when this book came out. Now, if I'm correct, when we were speaking, you said that a lot of people didn't know anything until this book came out.
But I had over 100 something guests. A lot of my coworkers, they showed up and showed out. Probably out of that 100 and something, 30 of them probably was my coworkers. And when I tell you, not one coworker, not one. And they like, Daneshia, you've been working here 20 something years. How we didn't know, and like, why? I mean, a couple of them came up to me, was like, oh my goodness, Daneshia, you just messed up my makeup. Or, or like, why you didn't tell us? Or, are you okay? And, why you didn't share this? And I told them too. I'm like, listen, there's like, Nisha, you perfectly fine. Like, and then they were starting to say, if we treated you any other way, we sorry. If we ever pushed you, we apologize. I was like, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why I didn't want to share, because I was like, now I feel like you guys treating me like a handicap now. And, and that's what I never wanted. But I told them, honestly, it was times I did want to share. But once I got in my mind that I was going to come out with this book, I'm like, why tell now? I'm literally about to be an open book. I mean, they're about to find out sooner or later anyway. Literally. So I don't want to be spoiler alert. You're about to find out anyway.
Right.
You're about to find out that and other things you didn't know.
Right. That's probably the biggest reveal that anybody can ever do, is put it in a book and say, here you go. Read about it.
There you go. I'm like, talk about me. I'm giving you everything to talk to me, talk about me with now. Yeah.
Wow. So what is the message that you hope people take away from reading your book? What is the message that you want people to know?
I want them to know that at the end of the day, unlike me, please, if you have a support group, if you have someone to talk to, don't actually, don't hide it, or don't be in silence like I was in as many years as I was, and it's okay not to be okay. It took me a long time to realize that, Daneshia, put your cape in the cleaners, like, it's okay not to be okay. Like, I always like, no, I got this. And I'm only with a $1.10 soaking wet. And everybody's like, Daneshia, like, so because I'm always been more of a giver than a receiver. And so it's like, I'm not used to like taking the passenger seat. Like, I'm always like, I love to drive. Literally, I love to drive. And I'm always just used to like, okay, I got this. And, until I became a mom. And it's like, now I'm like, whoa. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, volunteer. Like, if you want to do this, sure. Like, do tell. It's like, now I kind of learn how to accept help and, not live in silence anymore. And at the end of the day, you're never alone, because you always have God. Always have God. And, just try to, some people don't trust everyone, but, it's always one person that you trust. Let them know, like, or do like a check-in. It's like now, occasionally, like I text one of my friends or somebody I haven't talked to in a long time. Hey, this is a check-in, just checking on you. If you don't have, I know you don't have time. I don't have time, but just checking on you. Just letting you know that I'm thinking about you, blah, 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 blah. And, even if they don't respond, I just assume that they okay, but they know that I'm checking on them, so I just hope that people take away that, it's okay not to be okay. Try to talk to someone. And at the end of the day, just pray, just pray, just pray, just pray. Anything that God put you to, he put you through it.
Yeah.
And the grass always look greener on the other side. It can always be 10 times worse.
Yes.
It can always, God done showed me that over and over and over and over again. Always, you might walk around and say, darn, it only have one leg, until you bump into somebody that don't have no legs.
No legs, yes.
No legs, no toes, no feet.
I understand that. Absolutely. And I agree totally that Marla says that's what happens when you're headstrong. Women can do anything. When you're a headstrong woman, you can do anything, but it's so hard to accept someone else's help. Believe me, I know. Absolutely. And the young lady says, yes, girl, angel face beauty. Yes, girl, I agree. Amen. And Charlena has a face like, yep, that's how it is. And your son's father says he T3 wants to type something. Come on, T3. I want to hear what you got to say, T3. What you got to say, T3? Come on. You are great with your MS. T3, you get into my heartstrings right now, okay? You pulling at my heartstrings, T3. I don't know if he knows what that means, but he is. How sweet of him.
Look, if he don't, he's going to look it up. He know how to look up stuff. And when I tell you 7 going on 77, I kid you not. Look, yeah. I'm an actress, but I'm not acting. Yeah, I tell him.
Like, you typing this? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tell him that he a hot mess, and he be like, no, mommy, I'm a cold mess. I don't like nothing hot.
Oh, how sweet. Oh, that's adorable. T3, yep, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be a great how can we say it, like helper for you. Like, I can see even just from this that when he gets older, you're gonna have him. You'll always have him. Come on, mom, let's go. You're coming with me. You don't got nothing to worry about. So let's talk about this acting. Now, guys, I did my little, I had to do my research. That's who I am. I'm an interviewer, and I look people up. And I Googled, and she has a whole IMDb, DVD, I don't know, whatever you call it.
IMDb.
And she has there are a few things listed there, and one of them was a movie that my husband and I actually watched. We love Christmas movies, y'all. We love our Christmas movies, and she was in one of them that now I can't remember the name of it, but I can't. I'm like, wait, I had it in my head. I was going to say it and everything, but she was in it, and then to actually know that I saw that movie.
You actually seen the movie before you met me. It's called Love After Holidays. Love After Holidays.
Love After Holidays. Yes. Yeah. And it was really good. So the premise was it was a talk show host, and she was drinking, she was drunk, and she had some stuff going on in her life, and you played an audience member and you were asking a question, and it was so funny. I was like, wow. I was like, gosh, I don't know. Someone said, I said she looked familiar. You know how we get. Yes. You look it up. Love After the Holidays, y'all. If I can find it, I wish I could find on YouTube like some type of little clip. That would have been really cool to do. But when you're running around and doing everything,
I get it. Yeah.
Those things are just like, darn, I wish I could have had that. That would have been so great. But So let me ask you this. Was the book healing for you? Now, part of this, was it a healing process that you go through? Because I know when you write a book, it brings up everything. I told you I was in the process of writing something, and it just brings up everything, and you have to dig deep and go back into that that time that it happened. And so was that healing for you?
Absolutely. And, because look, it's
Mhm.
in a book, so I'm not going to tell too much. But
Yeah.
another one of my big silent battles I was actually going through at that present time as I was writing. So was it therapy? Was it nurturing? Was it, like before? Because a couple of my friends actually have wrote books, and they had said, Daneshia, you pretty much putting in the universe. It's no longer your story. It's no longer your problem. It's like a woo-saw moment. And one of the other battles I was going through, I was like, oh my goodness, no, I don't have the time nor the energy to be writing a book right now. And one of my friends that was actually helping me write the book,
Hmm.
she said, Denisha, this is the best time. And I'm like, no, 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 no. She was like, yeah, 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 yeah. She was like, this is the best time. And I said, I don't have the time. I was like, my schedule is crazy right now. I'm mourning over a lot of different things right now, financially, emotionally, physically, everything. And she's like, Nisha, I promise this is the best time. And then she's like, I'll help you.
Hmm.
So, she helped me. And I swear it was certain days. I was like, you know what? Screw it. We like in the 5th chapter. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't care. I'll pay you for helping me. I'm done. I'll get back to it when I get back to it. And it was a couple of moments I had like that. And, going back to the drawing board, and I'm like, Jesus, why? I try not to question you, but why am I writing this book? Why am I telling my story? Nobody, half of the world don't even know I'm going through all of this. Why do I have to share? Like, why? I can go through this life perfectly fine and I'll be okay. And, just keep waking up. I mean, I already have chronic insomnia anyway. That's one of my MS symptoms. But, just keep waking me up through the middle of the night. Well, half the time I was asleep anyway. But, just keep saying, no, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. And, a couple of my friends is like, Denisha, please, people need to hear some of this stuff. Because, I mean, when I
Hmm.
tell you, it's not too many life-changing events I haven't came across or haven't experienced.
Hmm.
So with that being said, yeah, God just several different times keep nudging me saying, daughter, I need you to do this. And
Hmm.
my mother, I had a lot of other people, family, friends telling me, Denise, you really should tell your story. Even my son's dad, his Idensha, you living so well, you really should. Like, why do you, hide it? And I was like, I can't explain it. And I was like, but most people that have MS, that's what we do. And I was
Yep.
like, why we do? I mean, I could give you a million more reasons, but this is what we do, and I can't explain
Hmm.
it.
Wow.
But yeah, it was times I really didn't. But everybody's like, Denisha, when are you going to write your second one? And I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't know. Look, maybe after I'm done with the film that I'm trying to work on right now. But
Hmm.
it was definitely, yeah, it was definitely several different woosah moments.
Hmm.
And I do feel 100% relieved. Like I have told people, like the best feeling is when you have people at a couple of weeks later after the book signing told me they literally read my book in less than one day. Like they couldn't even put it down.
Wow.
And
Wow.
just so many of them was like, wow, Nisha, I didn't even know your bubbly personality. Like I wouldn't even know you was going through all that. Wow,
Hmm.
if you can do it and all the stuff you went through and still can, show up for everyone else. Or
Hmm.
like, who am I? And then they start feeling bad. Then it's like, oh my goodness, you pouring into me when I should be pouring into you. And just several different people, like just that feeling you get when people tell you, wow, I needed that, or holy smokes, like I didn't know, like I don't feel alone anymore, or
Hmm.
like, wow, you definitely changed me, or I didn't know you went through that. Now if you can go through that, I know I can do it.
Yeah.
So it's just that feeling of like, wow, and I told everyone that, my job is done. My whole goal was if I can save at least one soul or one person from slitting their wrist or one person from feeling like they not no longer alone, my job is done.
That's it. That's it. I love it. I love it. I have been wanting to read a certain passage from you, and every time, do you mind if I read a
No,
passage?
please, please
Okay.
do tell.
So it was, I think this is the second chapter, but so it was about after you would take your injections and everything, and some people not who didn't know about it, and you wrote here, they couldn't understand why I was canceling because some, not all, knew about my illness. Sometimes I had to lie and tell them I had to work to cover it up. I hated having to lie to cover up my illness. I was just afraid of being judged. They got mad at me and thought I was probably living my best life. Meanwhile, I was laid up in my bed crying from body aches, frustrations, and fatigue. I hated disappointing my loved ones. If only they knew I couldn't move. That, I think that was one of the most relatable parts in this book that I could actually say that I feel you on that. When you try to tell people, you don't want them to know, but you cancel a plan and why are you canceling? I'm tired. Girl, you're not like blah blah blah. They're just getting you. They think you're making excuses when they'd have no idea that you are like in the bed.
Or they thought you was being lazy, or what used to really politely piss me off. Or, well, I'm tired too. Or, well, Daneshia, you work part-time. I work full-time and I have 2 kids. And when I tell you that just was like pouring fuel on the fire. And I'm like, oh, it got to a point. I'm like, you know what, Daneshia, when you know better, you do better. It got to a point I actually used to have to be like, well, Daneshia, you don't look sick. Daneshia, you still doing this, you still working, you still pursuing money, you still doing, you still living a normal life. So you just got to look at it on their side. Like if I seen them doing all that, I was second guess too. And it got to a point where, I would hang out with them. But what used to politely piss me off, I hang out with them 9 times. That one time I cancel, they make it seem like, I'm like, well, what about all the other 9 times I showed up? This one, oh, well, this was the most important one. This was the one. If you didn't show up to the rest of them, this was the most. And I'm like, listen, or because I have a lot of different type of networking groups. So like, I have a huge circle. Different friends, co-workers, day one, my siblings. So my circle is huge. So it is hard. The grace of God, I've been able to maneuver throughout the years, but it's rough trying to show up for everyone. And it was times where I'm like, little do they know, I didn't want to cancel. I actually went in my bed and cried because I wanted to go, but I couldn't because I knew that my cup was so empty. If I tried to even take another step, I might end up in the hospital. And you tell somebody that, and then everybody like, oh, well, Denise, you're an actress. How I know you're not acting? And I'm like, listen, I'm a paid actress. Like I'm not acting right now. And they just didn't get it. So sometimes, but like I said, it got to a point now, I'm like, hey, I'm going to do what I can do. If you don't know, or if I haven't proved to you, that if I can't or whatever, like it's coming from a good place. If I haven't proved to you that, hey, I'm not acting, or I really can't just show up right now, then, you don't need to be in my circle. I'm like, most of my family, my friends, coworkers, they've been knowing me 20 something plus years. So if I haven't proved to you in this time that I'm not acting and that I literally can't, yes, I might have showed up even last week. You know how it is. Yeah. I might tomorrow, just can't do nothing. So it's just so unpredictable. And it's like, sometimes I used to have to step aside and just be like, you know what, Daneshia, they don't know. And trying to get them to really understand 100%, like that's not going to ever happen. So don't expect that, so it's like when they do try to challenge me, which I would say they really don't at this present time anymore. But when they occasionally do, like they'll catch themselves. Oh, my bad. Yeah, you're right. I apologize. We'll meet up another time. But yeah, that and it just, oh my goodness, yeah. Or just trying to compare who's more tired than. And I'm like, listen, our tired doesn't go away. We can have 1,000 hours of sleep, and we're still going to wake up tired. And then the medications that we on make us even 10 times more tired with all the different side effects.
Yeah. And then you take the medicine to counteract that side effect and so on and so forth. People just don't understand, and that's why it's a silent battle. If anybody, this book, and what I liked about your cover, inside each letter, I know you guys can't see. Oh yeah, here we go. Inside each letter, she has words: isolation, strength, resilience, tingling, faith, dizziness. She has some symptoms in there. I'm reading kind of backwards, but yeah, hope, faith, and like she has a bunch of words inside, which I thought was brilliant. I love that part. I wanted to tell you that I loved your book because I love the cover because of that. So she has all these words inside of the titles: uncertainty, tremors, numbness. I thought that was brilliant. Warrior, insomnia, determination. So she has some chronic fatigue. She has some words inside of here, both about symptoms and but then she counteracts it with resilience and faith and strength and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like I love how you did that. It's just so good. And I didn't ask you this prior to, but at the end here, I just want to give this book not this book, because this is mine. I wanted to purchase a copy for someone. I had to figure out how I was going to do it. I usually have a spin wheel and I write down everyone's name, but I didn't do that tonight because it was just, I had to pay attention. I had to do, it was like too much at one time, but I am going to pick something for someone to win a copy of this book. And if you don't win a copy of this book tonight, you can purchase it. And where can they purchase it from?
Amazon, Walmart, Target. And, I have actually personally dropped off books, and I like to do that so I can actually see who the reader is and then I can autograph it for them. So if they don't actually live too far, like I always have copies on me and I can personally, meet them somewhere or, personally drop it off to them. But yeah, Amazon, Walmart.com, Target.com, and there's other it's several different other websites too.
Right.
But those are the main three. And then I have a lot of pop-up book signings that's coming up.
That's awesome. I can't wait for that one. And I just had here your website. It is www.silentbattles.info. That is her website, guys, if you want to check things out on her website. Again, www.silentbattles.info. And what I'm going to do is I'll put that in the description box in YouTube so people can go to it and see. And social media, I'm trying to get that out the way because sometimes I wait till the end and then I totally forget and be like, dang, I didn't get none of her info. What's your social media? How can people reach out to you?
Instagram is author Daneshia Drakeford. And then my Facebook is Daneshia Drakeford_Hatwood. Okay.
All right. We're going to get that. We'll put that down there too. Now we got all the serious stuff out. And so I want to have a little bit of fun. I like to have a little bit of fun with my guests. So I have the flash round. It's called flash round. And so I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to have two answers only. And you can only answer from one of those answers. Okay.
Okay.
Now this one I already know. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
I'm both. I'm the last one to go to sleep and the first one to get up.
Give me your secret because I don't know how I'm a night owl. Clear through and through, night owl. I will stay up all night and not want to get up at early in the morning. Okay.
No, I'm sometimes I'm eating dinner at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning and have to be to work at 6 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I've been doing it for years. So everybody, that's why I always tell everyone, it's never too late or never too early to call me because I'm always up. Like one of my friends, she actually might be on here now. She was like, Daneshia, she's like, she was like, you don't sleep. She was like, how do you get it? She was like, then you don't have no wrinkles. She was like, no bags on your. She was like, how do you do it? She's like, because we have hung out, got a hotel, went on vacation together, and she'll be asleep. And when she get up, I'm just looking at the walls, and she's like, Daneshia, how long you been up? I'm like, I really haven't went to sleep. And then she was like, how long you been there staring at me? And I was like, this is like, why was you just staring at me? And I was like, because I was waiting for you to get up. And I was like, so I can have somebody to talk to. I couldn't turn on the TV. I didn't want to play on my phone to wake you up. But yeah, I'm both. I'm both. But I mean, if I really had to break it down, I would say a night owl. But yeah, it's times. Yeah, I have went to bed literally at 2 and at work at 6. Yes.
You are the best with that. Let me tell you. Whoo, girl. Okay. Beach or mountains?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Beach or mountains?
Well, you already know MS things. We kind of got to try to stay away from the heat. But yeah, I don't feel like climbing anything. So let's say beach.
Let's say
Let's
the
say
beach.
beach.
Let's say the beach. Text or phone call?
See, it depends on the energy level. I would say more. Let's do text. Text. Yeah.
Text. I'm text all the way. Yep. I'll call. We'll call if you need me. Say,
Yeah.
hey, call me. Say, can you talk right now? I'll be like, yeah, sure. I will talk. I will talk. But on certain things, I'll just be like, let's, text. Let's just send out a text. Okay. Couple more. Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Okay. This one should be easy. Books or movies? Actually, you know what? No, I feel you. It could be both with me. It could be kind of a both thing for me.
Okay, I would say since I'm an actress, let's go and I'm an author now, but let's go with movies.
Okay.
Movies.
I was about to say, wow, because it's like, yeah, you're an author and you're an actress. So
Yeah, so that's why I'm like,
which
yeah,
one
that's why I was like, but let's go with movies.
Okay. All right. Faith or fear?
Mm. Okay. Well, I'm fearless, and I'm definitely a woman that have a lot of faith. So, let's go with faith.
Okay. Summer or winter?
Well, we're not supposed to get too hot or too cold. We fragile. So let's
I
go
like
with.
fall and spring. I should have said fall or spring.
That's what I'm about to say. But if I had to choose one, I guess I would prefer to be hot than cold. So let's go with summer.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Cold weather in me. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Introvert or extrovert?
Oh, I love people. Yeah. So yeah, I love people. I'm a people's person.
I can totally see that. I can totally see that. Okay. Favorite Bible verse, if you have one. I know I have many, so it's hard
That's
to
what I'm
just
about to say, and I do too. But I don't. Oh, I forgot some of it. But the Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Look, it's gonna come to me as soon as we hang up. But yeah, that's my favorite one.
Okay.
I should not want. Do die. Do the hear no evil, fear no evil. Yeah, it's gonna come to me.
Okay, we'll get that. Don't worry about it. Just send me a text, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, that's it." Okay, now there's three more that are really important here. One word that describes you.
Oh, that is a good question. Look, only one. Okay, only one. All right, so I would describe myself as positive.
Okay, I like that. One word that describes your MS journey.
Because in the beginning it was rough. Now it's kind of more stable. I would say describe it. In one word, or I could
you could just describe it.
Okay. I would say in the beginning it was a struggle. First couple of years, I didn't even think that the medicine was working. But I would say towards the end, the grace of God, I give him all the credit. It's been pretty much dormant. So I would say it's been more of a blessing than anything. It's been more of a blessing. And I used to always say, why me? And now I'm like, why not me? God trusted me with this. And I'm just happy that I'm able to inform, educate, and bring awareness to MS. And I feel as, that's why I'm living as well as I am, because God, he has work for me to do.
Okay, I got you. That's right. That is. And now this is a fill in the blank. This is a fill in the blank. It's hope is. Hope is.
Hope is hope is hope is healing. Hope is hope hope is love. Hope is the fill in the blank after or
No,
after?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Hope is blank.
Okay. Hope is uh hope is um hope is hmm hope. Oh man, look, I've been up since 5 something this morning. Okay. Hope is becoming. Hope
I like
is
it. Okay.
hope hope is hope is caring. Hope is
Okay.
caring.
Mm-hmm.
Hope is love.
Mm-hmm.
Hope is faith.
I like it. I like all of it. That's good. That's good. I love it. So now we get back to down to the nitty gritty here where I managed to get some names on the wheel here. Marla, I didn't put your name on because you said you just ordered it. She gets it on Friday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, if you guys have ordered it already, if you have it and I said your name, I put Chandra Brooks, I see you, I see Charlena, I see Vanessa, and I see um Charlena. I think I might have just said that already. And Angel Face, she might have your book. I don't know. Whoever has your book, if they have it and I land on it, please be honest so that you know that you you have it. Uh Sister Rennie was watching. I don't know if she still is, but if they're not on here, then let me know. And we're going to spin the wheel. I'm going to share it. And let me just put her name in. All right, here we go. Let's share. Huh? I have her in here. Oh, I do have her. My husband. Yeah. Let me make sure I have. Yeah, I have her name. All right, so let's get this wheel. I have her name. I have her name on there. Okay. Share the screen here. And here we go.
Oh, I think I messed up my Facebook. It's actually Daneshia Drakeford-Hatwood, not
Yes.
underscore hyphen.
Okay. Hyphen
Yeah.
Hatwood. I'll get that right. All right,
Yeah.
y'all. I have everybody's name up here. This one person I don't think is even on here anymore, so I gotta take hers off. Okay. All righty. All righty. So here we go. I'm going to click and we are going to see who is the winner.
Okay.
Angel Face. Angel Face, are you there still? Let's see Angel Face. If she's still on here. If not, I will give it to someone else because I don't want anyone to Angel Face, are you still there? Oh, that's what I did. And I didn't add it to the stage. Here we go. Angel Face. Anyone? If not, I'm going to go one more round. And if she comes up, that's good. But let's just go one more round. One more round here.
All right. I think she actually have a book already.
Okay. All right. So let's go one more round here.
Okay.
Yvonne, congratulations to Yvonne. Yvonne, congratulations. You will get a copy of this book and I will Amazon it to you. That's because that's how we do. I put the names into Amazon and be like, send it right off. So Yvonne is the winner. Congratulations to Yvonne. You will get a copy of Silent Battles, courtesy of Hope and Healing with Christina. So everyone, thank you. And for sharing. If you had shown up on the screen, I know there was a lot of people on here, but if I didn't see your name, I couldn't do it. So but praise God anyway, guys. Thank you and congratulations to Yvonne. Daneshia, thank you so much for being a guest. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me, my MS sister,
Yes,
my MS warrior.
it was a joy. It was fun. I like, the laughter. I love just being honest and having a good time. You are welcome, Yvonne. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, so we are going to have to get together. There's no excuse. We live way too close to
Literally.
not.
Look,
Yeah,
you literally in my backyard.
literally. Like after we get off, I have to figure out exactly where you are because I'm off of Route 1, so I don't know. I know
Route
you.
1, north or south?
I am off north.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Well, I mean, I'm right off of Livingston Avenue. So
stop. No, see, Livingston is my backyard.
see.
Livingston is my backyard. I live in the apartment complex. That's
Okay.
up
Well,
once. Yep.
yeah, I live off of Livingston Avenue. So yeah, well, like I said, give or take, what, 15 minutes away, not even.
I should have known since you said your billboard was on. She had billboards, y'all. She was on a billboard in New York City. A billboard. I should have brought that picture. She was on a whole billboard, y'all. So that was exciting. That is awesome right here. That's it here. Someone said be sure to give your son a big, I guess a hug, like kiss.
I
Teddy
will.
said, thanks. That was uplifting and inspirational. Thanks, Christina and Daneshia. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And Marla said, what's your stole number?
South Brunswick. South Brunswick.
South Brunswick. Not it's all the
Yeah.
way up there.
Six,
Yeah.
look, 6917.
6917. Okay. Yep. So there we go. There we go. All right, my dear. It was a pleasure having you on here.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you so much. And
Thank
yeah, we definitely got to keep in touch.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for everyone else, thank you so much for joining and hanging in with us here for this hour. I can't believe it was like a whole hour.
What?
Or like we talked.
Oh,
like it's been after 9. Like where did the hour go? I don't feel like that's when I know it's been a good show because I can't even tell how long it's
I
been.
swear, I'm looking at the time. I didn't know it was 9:10.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It is, right? But the good thing you're like me and you're late out. I've interviewed many people who are like, girl, I'm usually in bed by this time. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Look, I'm actually about to make dinner now.
Oh, so am I. Shh, don't tell nobody. So am I. Look, somebody wrote Hope is Daneshia. Oh, that's sweet. That's very sweet. Oh. All right, everybody. Don't forget, Pastor Eric has encouragement from the bed tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. You won't want to miss this. The subject is about what do you do when a doctors and physical therapists tell you that you will never get better? What's your response going to be? What you going to tell them? What's going to happen after that? Because we know people have been telling us stuff like that all the time. No, you're going to be sick. You're going to get sicker. But let's see what God says on this subject matter right here. Amen. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful good night. God bless you all. Love you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Take care.